Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now, first thing you might notice if you're incredibly creepy and maybe a little obsessive, there's a new picture here. It is the cutest photo I've ever seen. Now, I hate those parents that are like, look at my kid is special. But look at my kid is special. Look at this picture. Let's put it up. Maybe I'll just talk over it or put it over my shoulder or something. That's my daughter in the middle, Maya, and those are her cousins, my brother's kids, Charlotte and Natalie. This was at my brother's cottage. Don't even get me started on cottages. But it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. We put the TV on, and they just naturally gravitated, sat together, and then held hands. Oh my God. It's such an unbelievable feeling to be a parent and see that connection between the cousins who don't see each other that often because my brother and his family live in England. But to see an 8-year-old holding a 2-year-old's, 1.5-year-old's hand, and then the other kid, it's like 5, it was just unbelievable. Anyway, so I have that picture up there. I'm going to blow it up and get it framed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Idaho next week. I think I might do a Pick 5 from down there. This is the last Pick 5 of the very slow summer. I can't wait to get started. I know that sounds crazy. It's like that kid that was like, I can't wait to go back to school. You're like, but we're just like riding our BMX bikes all day and just like buying freezies every single night. The kid's like, I know. I really want to write a math test, like the Mad Minute. Remember the Mad Minute? Mrs. Withers gave us like 5 or 6 minutes to complete it. Anyways, guys, I'm excited for fall market. Personally, I have about 5 listings in the pipe I'm going to be bringing out second week of September, and right now things are slow. So I figured what we would do is we do something fun. It's not quite a Pick 5 this week, but I want to do the following. Let me show you this. This is a map of, as you can see, Mimico. So what we're looking at here are 2 areas, Alderwood and Long Branch. Now these areas are not exactly downtown. They're also not, let me just zoom out, they're also not Mississauga. So they're somewhere in between. Now some people who grew up in Etobicoke, they get it, they know it, they understand it, they value it, they love it. I find it's very difficult to take people that don't know Etobicoke, have not grown up in Etobicoke, and then convince them to move to Etobicoke. So I will say that there is an incredible amount of development in these areas. There's also an incredible amount of opportunity. So I figured we'd take a look at the 2 areas. They're very different. Now this area here is going to cost more because you're near the water, but there's value in both of these if you're willing to think outside the box a little bit. And here's the GO train station. So you know I'm a huge proponent of the GO train because the transit sucks in Toronto, and basically 50 years from now we're all going to be living on top of each other because all 3 levels of government can't do anything because politicians only actually get elected for 4 years at a time, so they can't really enact any change because after the first 2 years they start re-campaigning and they don't really want to actually stick their neck out and do anything. But that's a topic for another day. So here's the GO train here. I get that if you're, let's say, up around here, it's not exactly close, but it's close enough for a lot of folks that if they work downtown, it's a little more convenient than, I mean, look, there's people that work downtown that when they walk to a streetcar to the subway to work, it can take an hour. So let's do this. Let's start here. I have highlighted the Alderwood area. Holy moly, MLS is weird today, folks. So I've highlighted the area, and I've gone on the other side of Brown's Line just to see what's there. And I'm going to do the following. I'm going to go through, guys, with you and highlight a few properties. So let's start here. 15 Norfolk Avenue. So I'm going to go to the map first. I'm staying within MLS just because I can. So Norfolk is in this little pocket on the other side, the west side I should say, of Brown's Line. Very quiet pocket. There's really nowhere to go from here. So why would you be on these streets if you don't live there? That's what's so exceptional about this area. So we have a 42 by 118 foot piece of land. Great little property. And I say little, look at the size of the darn thing. So it's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 4-piece in the main, 4-piece lower. It's a bungalow, right? We don't have that extra bathroom upstairs because there is no upstairs. So very cute from the outside, fully renovated inside. And it has that kind of condo feel to it. This is a condo size kitchen. Actually, no, to be honest. I don't know what condo would have this. It's a multi-million-dollar condo. I'm going to take that back. I love the window over the sink. You guys have been watching for a long time. You know I love windows over sinks. They're so charming. So it looked kind of like a condo kitchen until you see around the corner. It's huge. Living room. I don't love the photo of that. A lot of open space. Show me a dining room. There we go. Big dining room. I love the flow of these photos. Awesome table, by the way. I really like everything about this. So here's bedroom 1, and here's bedroom 2. And there's the downstairs man cave / kids playroom. Got a little desk across from a couple of degrees. And there's the back, sort of mud room, whatever you want to call it. Backyard, huge garage. Really nice, really solid little property. So 42 by 118, as I said, it's a private drive. Everything's gonna be a private drive in this area. Detached garage, 4 to 5 parking spaces. So we've got 849. We're holding back offers on this. These things don't go absolutely bonkers, but I would expect to see competition on this. Again, not the time to be bringing out a listing if you're me. That's just my 2 cents. But I think this should do very well. We've got a floor of 849. Very easy to say that. And I mean, the upside probably 950. This thing's turnkey. I know that's a huge range, and I'm sorry, but it's just a very finicky market right now. So now we go to something that really sheds some light on why I think the other one is a worthwhile property. This is 19 Gare. 19 Gare. Where's Gare? That was a nickname for your buddy, Gary. Hey, Gare, come on over. So we are a little too close to Evans and the Gardner for my liking. And it's a similar lot size, 40 by 132. So not as wide, but deeper. This doesn't make any sense to me. No driveway. They're basically selling this as land value. 3 bed, 2 bath. So scroll down here, must sell. I guess that's why you've been on the market for 34 days. Heart of Etobicoke, blah, blah, blah. Tons of options. Brick bungalow built 1951, basement apartment. And then they tell us the lot size because we can't read what it says above. So here's original list price, $899. And here we are at $849. So that's just for the land value. Hasn't sold. The land value is what then? $800. Look back to the first one we were at. That's $849. Going to sell for more because it's actually turnkey. So the difficult part here is trying to figure out what's the land worth and what's the house worth. Now, a friend of mine was looking at a house in Leaside the other day. The land's worth 1.8, 1.85. The house sold for $1,965,000. So that house is only worth like 150 grand because buying it for $1.8 million and spending $1 million to build, you're in at 2.8 plus land transfer tax. It's a $3+ million house. So I had a listing not too long ago in North York where we were listed at 2.5 and everyone wanted to buy it for 2 because the land's worth 2. But people looked and said the house is worth 0. It was not worth 0. It was a beautiful house. It's just you could buy that lot for $2 million, build on it for $1 million. I mean, and there's actually margin there because it's probably worth upper 3s. Okay, so let's move along here. Another one here, been in the market 55 days. So here we've got a smaller lot, 36 by 172. It's a 1.5 story, so you've got the extra bedroom, extra bathroom. They're $874,900. Let's take a look at the pictures of this just so you get an idea of the size. And I'm not a huge fan of these. This feels like the biggest foyer ever or the worst living room ever. So it is a very, very big footprint. You wouldn't notice from the outside. This is really the honest man's dining room. Going through real quick here. We're really cooking with gas. I'm not a fan of the tile. It looks like wood. Huge basement. Wow, that's really good. That's a huge property. And it definitely feels bigger. That's awesome. When I was a kid, all I wanted was a slab of pavement. Rollerblades. Remember rollerblades? I couldn't believe it. It was like, I can pretend I have ice skates on. It was the coolest thing ever. Just roll around and shoot pucks. So only a 36-foot lot, 172 deep. That's why it feels so big. But now we're getting into that sort of, what am I really buying here? 55 days in the market at $874,900. Yes, it's a 3-bed, but you're really getting expensive if you're just kind of buying the land and living in the house and biding your time. So take a look at this. You've got a bedroom on the main, which I guess could be your master because up here, well, you have a 2-piece on the main. So it's not exactly like a master bath. Upstairs, 1 bedroom, 1 bedroom. And then you've got the 3-piece, 4-piece downstairs. So you can have any arrangement here. Probably if the biggest bedroom, let's see here, 11 by 8, no, 16 by 5. Tough to say. If you have 2 kids, is one going to be upstairs and one on your level and one downstairs? That's tough. So there's a few different options here. Depends on how you want to set it up. But as we go through these, you start to see where things are getting expensive, right? Now that was a 36-foot lot. Now we're up to a 40-foot lot. And let's take a look where this one is. Again, we're in here in the Alderwood, or west of Alderwood, west of Brown's Line. And we're starting to get up in price to the point where 8 days in the market, $879. Yes, it's a 3-bed, But we're starting to get creeping up to that 900 plus mark where I think the land is, well, let's move on from that, a little priced out. Here's a great one. Here's a sideways house. So $899, we've got a 40 by 138. Again, this is more just sort of land value, 64 days on the market. Valermo, so here we've got a 42 by 132, 42 days in the market, let's say at 979. See this price change? $1,075,000 to start. Yeah, crazy town. So we had $1,075,000, we're at 979, we're down $100,000, still hasn't sold. So these are people that are basically just biding their time until a developer comes and picks up the property. So let me switch gears here. I'm gonna flip to the last one because I wanna show you what is starting to happen. And this is why this is a fun pick 5. So here we have 282 Aldercrest, $1,799,000, 40 by 131. Huh, okay, cool. Where's Aldercrest? Well, the reason it's only $1,799,000 is because it's literally like 3 houses in from Evans. And that might be why it hasn't actually sold. So we've got 40 by 131. Let's take a look at the photos. I mean, this is not, and see there's a bungalow here, there's a bungalow here. This is not going to be a Forest Hill quality house, but oh my God, I'm jealous. All I want is to just have a small little football field for my unborn son, and no, we're not pregnant, I just know I'm having a son, and I'm gonna make him run button hook patterns until he begs me to stop and says, I hate you, Dad. I hate you so much for making me into something I don't want to be. I don't want to be a football player. I just want to paint. I just want to be with my art. Because if there is a God and he doesn't like me, that's what I'm going to get. A kid that hates sports and just wants to paint. There's nothing wrong with painting. Just wish you would do it before watching 3 hours of football with me on a Sunday. Okay, so this is the backyard where David's son is not going to play football. It's an unbelievable lot, solid brick house. I would have run this patio all the way out the back. There's no window well there, so why not? There's so many people outside my door right now, and my phone is absolutely blowing up. This is what it's like. Just a day in the life. I was wrong, there is a window well. There's actually a staircase, so that makes sense why the patio is that small. So inside the house, and this is really what I wanted to show you, like I said, not Forest Hill quality, but it's a new build. And so you don't know what's behind the walls. A house like this, 100% I would do a pre-inspection. Well, not pre-inspection, you can buy it conditional on inspection. It's not like the craziness we have in the city. So the finishes, they are a solid B for what you'd expect in this area. Kind of Home Depot special. Get rid of the dehumidifier. Methinks the basement might be a little bit wet. And now the photos are out of order, and we're back to the main floor. Okay, so that's $1,799,000. Let's go down here. This is wild. This is a 25 by 107. Now we're not saying that they're gonna get this price, but this 452A Valermo is clearly a 50-foot lot they've subdivided. They want $1,600,000 for that, a 3-bed, 25 by 107. So this is what's starting to happen, right in the middle of Alderwood. Oh my God, my phone's blowing up. Sorry, I'm giving you a narrative here of just what happens. Okay, so here we go, tree view. So again, this is an area like, to be honest, this entire street is bungalows that have been subdivided and built up into these like 3 stories. I don't love this. So, holy moly, look at all these floor plans. Wow. So $1,578,000, 4-bed, 5-bath, 3-story. Again, I don't love the 3-story. It's on 27 by 132. So this is a big bungalow that was subdivided. And here we've got Rimmelton. I guess that's Hamilton's cousin. Rimmelton and Hallmark. So we are the youth of the nation. No, you don't remember that? It was by Silverchair. Okay, so we're on Rimmelton, so we're closer to Horner here. No real difference between, say, being here and being here. We just don't want to be right on Horner, and we don't want to be right on Evans. So, as you can see, I much prefer the wider lots. I kind of think that's the point. I just really, I'm going to go back here, guys. I just really don't like the way that this street looks. It feels way too subdivision-y. Okay, we're done here. Let me go back to Norfolk. So just see the way that this looks. See this big wide lot, and we've got 3 different bungalows. And then let's go, to the last one and see again, this is a new 2-story, and we've got bungalow. There's just a difference to me in those wider lots, and that's the value that I'm pitching. So if you're a developer, yes, there's value in buying those 60-footers, tearing them down and building 2 in the middle. But the value that I'm proposing is either looking at your big, monster house, your big McMansion, something like this, that's on a 40-foot or more lot. 42s are a lot of these. It's a 4-bed, 4-bath, and it's going to cost you, $1,600,000, $1,700,000. Or buying that $850,000 bungalow and biding your time till you can build, or you can sell to a builder. It's the ones in between, you know, those tweeners. See, this is a 40 by 131. And let's go back to the first one, is a 42 by 118. That's what I like. What I don't like is this, 25 by 107 for $1.6 million. Makes no sense. Okay, let's do this. Let's switch areas now. We're gonna zoom out of Alderwood and we're gonna go down to Long Branch. Okay, so while we were paused, I drew a very nice box around this area down here. So let's start with the lowest price property because it's hardly even a property. Well, lo and behold, it's 75 25th Street. And it is a detached bungalow, 25 by 125, and it's not really a house. Let's scroll down here and take a look. We've got, attention builders, permits and drawings are all ready for a 4-bedroom, 2-story with garage, open control, concept house. I don't know what the hell that is. Open concept house, open control. Not getting it. Amazing location, steps to the lake, property being sold as is. Holding offers Friday, August 17th at 8 p.m. So they are basically selling a piece of land that already has permits, which I think is really smart. Now, we don't know what this thing's going to sell for, but let's look and see what else there is. So now here we have a 25 by 150. Now they want $799, and it's basically the same thing. Bigger lot. Attention builders, investors and users, build your dream home. Severance approved for 25 by 150 lot. So what are we buying here? Are we buying a 50-foot bungalow? Full architectural drawings for home, 2,400 square feet, great location, blah, blah, blah. Okay, check this out. Buyer responsible for all development charges and services. No kidding. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, this is 25 by 150. Let me just go back here. This is 25 by 125. So they want $799, been in the market 71 days. You start to work backwards and see this at $649. What's it really worth? Seven and change. So now we're getting into actual houses. This is 59 James Street. It's a 25 by 120, and it's $869. Sold conditionally, been in the market 128 days. Now, is there a previous price? $889. Okay. This is one of those for sale by owner jobs, so I'm not surprised when the market 128 days. Literally an advertisement for why to hire an actual realtor. But I wonder what this is going for. If it's a FSBO, $869 means nothing. They could literally sell it for $710. Okay, now we get into houses that are actually nice. So remember back to that first one I liked when we were further north in the Alderwood area. Here you've got a 25 by 125, 1.5 story. Now what I don't like is this, a crawl space. So you're never gonna get used to your basement. The first house I showed you, I really like that man cave. Here you've got nothing. You're buying the land and you got a real nice house in the, for now, oh my God, first photo and second photo. So very cool house, nicely designed, nicely laid out. It's a 1.5 story. So you're gonna have, oh, this is interesting. Basically made a little laundry room / dressing room. So not brand new, but fully serviceable. That's cool. So that is basically at the back of the house. They might have even severed this. This could have been 2 bedrooms originally. And they've got the main floor bedroom acting as the master, so nice backyard. Very cool. It's rare to see that. You're expecting to see another story there. I'm so used to 2-story homes. And should I get my kid one of these little cars? I always wanted one when I was a kid. My mom would never spring for that. Oh crap, my mom watches every Pick 5. My mom's big thing when I was a kid was wasting. She was like, never name call, but if she did, it was, you're a waster. You know, like, you drink a glass of milk like this, and there'd be this much left, and you'd go and pour it in the old 80s drain, and the 80s drain was like a microphone. It would be like, and my mom would go, did you just pour your milk out? You're a waster. A waster. I was a waster. You could literally snap an elastic band, and my mom would hear it from outside. Did you just waste that? You're a waster. Anyways, so no, my mom did not buy me one of those cars. But if they had those in the 80s, it was probably like $1,000. You could probably get one now for $180. Mom, you're the greatest mom ever. I mean, I like to make fun of myself, so I'm going to make fun of you as well while I'm doing this. And plus, people think I'm the biggest mama's boy in the world, which is probably correct because I talk about you all the time during Pick 5. Did I just scroll through that? I think I did. Okay, let's move on from this. This is sold conditionally as well. 878, 880. Okay, so now we get into the houses that are actually done. So here we've got 1,378,000, 25 by 150, and look, it's sold conditionally. That's the difference between the further south area that we're looking in now and the Alderwood area. We'll call this Long Branch. Okay, so here we've got, well, this is both properties together. So see this, remember I showed you Shamrock at the front. This is the 50 by 150. This is both of them together. This is 1.5 million. Now, if we want to go back to this, it's really strange because they're basically saying, we'll sell them both for 1.5 or half of one bungalow for $799. That's very strange. Well, sometimes you got to get creative. Okay, where were we here? Shamrock. Okay, let's go back to this one. So here we have a $2.5 million house. We have a 50 by 150 foot lot, 6 bed, 8 bath, 43 days in the market. Now, where are we? We're not even down by the water. That's the crazy part. There's nothing really to show you down here. It would be an entirely different price point. So here's what you could do. If you wanted to take that $1.5 million lot that they had, 50 by 150, but it's going to cost you $1 million to build. There's no margin here. Okay. This is neat. 50 by 133, 2.2, on the market 18 days. Who the hell needs 5 beds plus 1, 6 bath? It's actually a really, really well done house. It just has a much better feel than the one that I call the kind of Home Depot special. It's got a different feel to it. My life is clicking a mouse. Clicking a mouse. Do you ever feel like that? Okay, let's move on. One more, we'll go back here. Nope, that's basically land value. Okay, so this is a 58 by 125 corner lot, waterfront views. So here you are down at Lake Promenade. So it's a 2-bedroom bungalow and they want 1.9. Are there any photos of the house itself? No. Yeah, this is cool. So they got you here, right? And then here's like a rendering. That's really like dangerous. I guess I'm a father now, so I see that as being dangerous. Okay, cool. All right, we got some drawings. Neat. And then there was one more. No, it's not that one. An Ash, 56 by 146. This is when you're really stuck. You have an older house. It's a great piece of land. You could subdivide it, I guess. But, you know, there's a house on it. It's just like, it's not a bungalow. You're trying to ask yourself, what is this house worth? Let's take a look at the photos. There are no photos. Okay. And this is what I meant when I said I had that property that we were trying to figure out what it's worth. The one in North Toronto, and no one really wants to buy the property. They want the $2.5 million listing for $2 million. So Long Branch, and I think we're done. We're back to Shamrock. Cool. Okay, well, that was a learning experience. Guys, that was different. That wasn't pick 5. That was like pick 20. But I thought it'd be neat to kind of go through these two areas and just kind of point out, right, in this Alderwood area here, how much opportunity there is and how much development's going on. But I love those 42-foot lots. And think about building a big house on that one day. Try to shy away from those 22, 25-foot lots where a builder wants 1.5 million, not worth it. And then, and plus there was one for 1.8, and I know it was just south of Evans, but it was a 42-foot lot. And then down here in Long Branch, same kind of idea. Yes, there's a lot of industrial in between, but these are two really nice residential pockets that are really quiet because no one's driving through them. You have the Gardner here and you have the Lakeshore here. Nobody has any purpose. Zoom in here. We saw a house in this area. The streets are all winding and no one has any purpose on any of these streets unless they live there. Which, if you're looking for a really quiet residential area, and that is like first and foremost on your list, you honestly can't go wrong with an $850,000 turnkey bungalow on a 42-foot lot in this hood. Awesome. Guys, that is it for this week. Have a fantastic weekend. I was going to say email you. I will do a pick 5 from Idaho next week. Can't wait. Honest to goodness. I just really want to get in my front porch, drink coffee, and look at the mountains. Awesome. Really looking forward to it, guys. I'll see you later. Bye for now.